Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Make sure you put the kettle on, make a cup of tea or coffee if you prefer, and let's talk some boxing. Also, hit that subscribe button. Now, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. It is a fight week, and Dillian Whyte has explained that he can 100% beat Povetkin in this fight at his best and even at his worst. Those were the words of Dillian Whyte going into this rematch. Now, he knows that this fight carries an incredible amount of importance with his career because he's had 2 losses, which is not a lot, especially considering the fights that he has taken. Now, would a 3rd loss be detrimental to his possibility of getting a world title opportunity? Absolutely yes. He does need to win this fight because then he is on track to get a world championship opportunity in 2022. There is the possibility that he could fight maybe Wilder Ruiz later this year, but Povetkin is the important fight at the moment. So when he says he can 100% beat him, he knows the importance of it, and he's not going to allow the pressure to get to him. Does that mean that Dillian Whyte definitely can beat Povetkin? Well, yes he can. 100% Dillian Whyte can definitely beat Povetkin. The worst of Dillian Whyte definitely cannot, because there was a pretty good Dillian Whyte in there in August last year, and he got beat by Povetkin. So you cannot say that Dillian Whyte at his worst can beat Povetkin, because when he was in good shape coming off of a long camp in Portugal coming back to the UK, he couldn't beat Povetkin. Now, there is this general consensus that Dillian Whyte was in control and got caught. That's not the case. Alexander Povetkin was looking for mistakes and forcing mistakes from Dillian Whyte. That is what he was trying to do. Then he stepped across him and landed that uppercut, which was incredibly timed and incredibly set up, and landed as well. And look at the effect it caused. So Dillian Whyte cannot believe that at his worst, he can beat Povetkin because he couldn't last time around. And one thing we can talk about is how is Dillian Whyte going to approach this fight? Is he going to go in there with the same kind of game plan? I don't believe so. I don't believe that Dillian Whyte will go in there looking to do the same thing. I almost feel like what he done last time was looking to land scoring shots, to be clever, to box his way, and pick his shots. And it did work up until that 5th round, of course, and he got caught. The problem with Povetkin is he is dangerous as long as he is in there with Dillian Whyte. So you have to wonder, does Dillian Whyte have to get him before Povetkin gets Dillian Whyte? Interestingly enough, Povetkin said he feels no pressure to go in there and stop Dillian Whyte the 2nd time around. So that does kind of tell you that he's happy to stay in there and wait for Dillian Whyte to make a mistake that he can capitalise on. Because Dillian Whyte was ahead on the cards. He was winning the fight last time around. He wasn't in control like others may have said, but still, Whyte was winning the fight. Povetkin was pressuring him. He was forcing him into making a mistake, and it's almost like it all came together. Whyte made a little mistake where he squared up, and Povetkin slipped inside, landed that uppercut, and it all came together because Povetkin made it come together. And that seems to be what he is going to do in the rematch, force a mistake from Dillian Whyte. So I don't believe that this time around he will go in there looking to box. I believe that he will go in there with mean intentions. Now, of course, the worry is Whyte got stopped last time from boxing. So if he has a go at Alexander Povetkin, how is he then going to not get caught because he's leaving himself more open than last time around? That is a good question, but what Dillian Whyte will be doing is using a harder, stiffer jab to keep Povetkin at bay, but also doubling up, varying it as well, coming around to the side. So he will be using his jab, but also every punch that Dillian Whyte throws will have mean intentions. He will mean to hurt Alexander Povetkin, to sting him, to keep him at bay, to make him second guess coming in, because last time around, when Whyte was boxing and being smart, Povetkin didn't seem all that bothered about coming in. Even after he got stung by Dillian Whyte, he still didn't stop coming forwards. Whereas at this time around, if Dillian Whyte is looking to go in there with mean intentions instead of just boxing, then he will be able to keep Povetkin at bay. Instead of landing those shots as Povetkin comes in, he will land shots before Povetkin tries to come in, to make Alexander Povetkin second guess his work, because the last time around, Dillian Whyte was looking to outbox him, let him apply the pressure, but he would outbox him and land the better shots, the neater shots as well on the inside. That did drop Povetkin, but this time around, Povetkin won't be allowed to apply that kind of pressure, which takes something away from him. Because while commentary said that Dillian Whyte was in control, Dillian Whyte was winning the fight, he was beating up Povetkin, and Povetkin looked a bit old and possibly like he was going to be taken out, especially after that 4th round. But if you look at one very important thing, Dillian Whyte was not in control of the pace of the fight and the distance the fight was being fought at. There were fundamental things that Povetkin was in control of, and that made all the difference leading up to that stoppage, because Povetkin decided when they were going to be trading. Povetkin decided what pace the fight was being fought at because he was the one putting the pressure on Dillian Whyte. Even after being knocked down, he got straight back in Dillian Whyte's face, and Dillian Whyte learnt that Povetkin is not the kind of fighter you want to allow to have control over those fundamentals. Look at the performance against AJ. Yes, AJ wasn't in control for the whole fight. Povetkin had his moments, but Anthony Joshua had intentions behind every punch that he threw. He didn't want to just box Povetkin like he did, say, Ruiz or even Parker. It's a different kind of fighter, so he didn't want to necessarily allow Povetkin to have control of a certain fundamentals, even though Povetkin took control of them at certain points in the fight. That was a tough fight for AJ, a thinking fight though as well. It wasn't like he was just outboxing him, he was also trying to land meaningful shots each and every time he landed. And look what Anthony Joshua was able to do to Povetkin, and that was because he wasn't just trying to outbox him, but also he was trying to land meaningful shots each and every time he landed, but also as well setting punches up. That is what I believe that Dillian Whyte will try to do in this rematch with Alexander Povetkin, instead of looking to box for 3 minutes and win the round. That is of course important if the fight is going to go 12 rounds, but I don't see this fight going the full 12 rounds. Obviously in boxing at times, that needs to be the game plan of the fighters to be prepared to go the full 12 rounds. And they both will be for sure, ready to go 12 rounds if they must, but I don't see this fight going beyond 10 rounds, let alone 12. So therefore, their game plans will be different. Their game plan maybe will be to get the stoppage. I know Povetkin's saying that he's not, but still, he's going to be thinking he can knock Dillian Whyte out because he done it last time around. And Dillian Whyte is going to think, I hurt Povetkin last time, I dropped him twice, so therefore, this time around I'm going to finish him. And his punches this time around won't be short, smart counter shots, they will be him going on the front foot, looking for Povetkin to sting him with each and every blow that he lands, and that will be the difference when he gets in there with Povetkin, looking to hurt him, not to sting him when he comes in, because last time, Povetkin wasn't necessarily badly hurt, he was just stung by those punches, stunned, and he was able to get up and continue, get straight back in the face of Dillian Whyte. This time around, Whyte won't want to allow him to get back up and get straight back in his face. If he gets up, Whyte will go after him, and that will be the difference for his game plan going in to the rematch. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks guys.